Okay, hey, hope everybody's doing well. I'm back to the transformer here, and so I finally got the part in from Amazon there. And again, this is a thermal fuse, 115 degrees Celsius, something like that, at 3 amps. It's the exact same one there. I'm just gonna clip this one out, bend the leads, these leads just the way this one is, and then solder it on, and then hopefully I can put it back into the amplifier. Trying not to be in your all's way. If I can do this like this, trying to see. Put on some glasses so I can see what I'm doing. All right, let's see. Much better. Okay. Cut it right there. All right, and cut this one way over here, right about right up here. All right. So that's the bad boy that's bad. And it is a, let me see if I can get it. You're probably not going to be able to see it, but I'll read it. It's, is it backwards? Got a UMI M1, and then it has X22, and then 115 degrees Celsius, 3 amp, 250 volt AC. Believe it or not, that's all printed there in blue. Now, what I want to show you, let's see if this will work. Let me get the proper leads to this. Just going to test it before I put it in. Let's see where we're at. There we go. By the way, Pomona, I think these are all Pomonas. Pomona probably makes some of the best leads. They last a very long time. So, all right, now one of the issues I was having before on the let me see if I can move this up some more over here. Yeah, I get it. Right about right there. On the 2000 mega ohm scale was that I put that on there and I'm getting 10 mega ohms just shorting the leads. I'm not sure if there's a way to, I don't think there's a way to go through here, at least on this meter, and cancel out that reading. I can tell you that these leads do not have that much resistance, but and how can I tell you? Just I'll put it down here to the 200 ohm scale. I'm shorting them out, and that's 0.002 ohms. So is there something wrong with my 2000 mega ohm scale? It's very possible. I was reading through another meter. I'll bring another meter and we'll check it. I was reading through another meter and they were calling that, I can't remember, something residual. But anyway, I'm going to put this guy on here and let's see what we get. So I'm getting 18 mega ohms. So if I go down to the 20 mega ohm scale, see what we'll get. Maybe a better reading on this one, I don't know. That's 8.43 mega ohms. You know, that's kind of hard to, well, what was I getting on this? Let me go to the 2000. Let's see what I get there. Okay, 18. And here it's So the way you're supposed to use a meter is you go to your highest, if you don't know what resistance or whatever you're trying to measure, whether it's a resistor, whatever it might be, you always want to go to the highest scale and then work your way down. And then at some point, you're going to get OL, or you're going to get where it doesn't read anything. So then you go back up 1, nothing, then you go back up 1, and then hopefully you start reading something. Okay? All right, anyway, so we know it's bad. All right, let's put on the known good one. Let me go ahead and start up here at the 2000 mega ohm scale. And by the way, I have replaced the battery on this, so I don't know, I have a feeling that there's something going on. There you go. See? I'm going to go all the way down. Now I'm at the 20,000 ohm, 2,000 ohm, and 200 ohm, and I'm getting 0.2 ohms. So this thing's good. All right, so that's how you go about measuring that. Let me, I'm just curious. God, but that other meter works a little bit different. I'll be back. I'm going to get another meter. Okay, so this is my fluke, and I'm just going to put this on there. Right now it's on auto ranging, so I don't know. Let's see what it'll do. Wow, not even reading anything. Let me see if I can change it down to, and it's hard to read the display, but yeah, it's not even reading anything. Wow. Okay, let's try reading this guy. Basically what I was doing there was just changing the mode from auto to, that was mega, now that's ohm, so I'm getting 0.2, same measurement. Okay, so definitely there's definitely something wrong with this guy. Okay, all right. So let me get this out of here. And what I'll do off camera is I'm going to go ahead and just bend the leads, put it on, then I'll come back while I'm soldering it. Okay, so I got it in there, and I kind of bent the legs outside. And then this is a real heavy plastic right here, and then I just wrapped it around right here. I'm going to solder it, and then I'm going to clip off these leads. Okay. Now right now I'm just letting my soldering iron heat up. So it's an old Weller. And the reason why I'm using this, because I was too lazy to go get my real nice pace machine. But one of the issues I was having with this guy was finding this knurl nut. Since it's an old, I bought this back in, oh God, when I started, 1981, when I started working on home and car audio and stuff. And that's what I was using for a while, and then I updated to a station with a single soldering iron, and the only mistake I made on that one is I'm thinking I didn't order any more tips for it. Haven't looked through all my stuff that I have, and that company has gone out of business long ago. But yeah, so I'll just solder this, and then I'll clip it, and then we'll bend these guys underneath this plastic right here. And then I have some Kapton tape that I'll put all this tape back up, but then I'll put some Kapton tape. This is some Kapton tape, and they make this in different widths. This is a little bit less than 1/2 inch, and they make it like 3/4, 1 inch, whatever. And I can't remember why I ordered this. I may even have a thicker one somewhere upstairs that I just don't remember where it's at. In, you know, in my closet where I have a whole bunch of stuff. But anyway, I'll fix it with that, and then we'll go through again. We'll recheck to make sure that the secondaries here, on another video I was calling these primaries, and these are secondaries. This is the primary. Primary is always the side where your wall AC is coming in. If you're in the United States, it's 115, well, 110 to 120, typically about 115, depending where you're at. That's the primary side of the transformer. And then the secondary is going to be the step down of that voltage coming in, or step up, depending on what the transformer does for you. And in this case, I had discussed that we needed from here to here, center tap had to be 16, and from here to here. So if we measure from the white this way, we're going to get like 30 something, 16, 32, maybe more. And then of course, it's peak voltage, and then you can measure RMS. These guys measure an RMS, AC, just so everybody knows. And then these orange ones were for the amp. And in the video before this, when I figured out that this was bad, I connected AC to here, and I was getting, God, I can't remember. I was getting 50 something from here to here, 50 something, and so ended up calculating the peak voltage, and it's like 77, which is great because 77 volts peak is not greater than the main filter caps on the amp section, which are 80 volts, and you don't want to go over that. You can if you want, but anyway, so let me see if this thing is ready. Yep, it's definitely ready. So let's see if I can heat this up enough to get enough. Yep, there you go. That was enough. All right, and that's enough right there. And then you can take these flush cutters, and there's different types of flush cutters. There's some with real sharp points, like if you need to get in really, really close and flat. These will do just good enough for this. And remember, that just went in here. Definitely put your finger over here while you're cutting it, because if you don't, this piece right here can launch and go and ruin your day into another unit. So I come all the way over here. All right, there you go. All right, so the way they were just bent down like this. I'm going to trim some more of this off. And this one was just bent down also. Just like that. Okay, so now what we can do is let's check the resistance of this. I mean, if I do have an impedance meter, we could actually check the impedance, but I'm just going to check for continuity, and I'll put this guy back on. Let's see. And this should be, I'm at the 200 ohm scale, and we should be getting something like 1 point something. Oop, let's see. Put it right. Gotta move stuff around here, because I'm a little tight on the. All right, let me move this over. Move this over here. All right, so I'm gonna put the ohm meter right here on the lead, on these leads. Let me turn that on the primary side. So there we go. That's more like it. Okay. All right. And now In the other video, I had already checked these guys, so I can go and check from white to white. And of course, we're going to get about the same. More or less. Okay. And then over here from orange to orange. Okay. And then if you want to go even further, you can go from the center tap. I'm going from the center tap here to one side of that guy, and then the other side right over here. We should get about the same. Okay. And then likewise over here. Point 8 and 0.8. Okay. So all that means is that the coils are good. Okay. Now, like I said before in the previous video, you know, I may hook this up and then there may be a short or something in the amp section, and you know, because my buddy Gilbert told me, why did this go out? Something had to get this guy hot. Now, I told him that that my buddy, you know, he's got a VRBO house or whatever in Ruidoso, and he had that subwoofer on the main system, and it was always on. So could just be, you know, the heat built up in here and finally caused it to go out. So I'll find out, and if it works, great. And then if it goes out, then I'll just make another video and say, hey, you know, something else is bad or whatever. But, all right, so I'll be back.